Should have chosen nighttime for this. But yeah, I can just run through the forest with rum. Oh, no, they've heard. Okay. Run. I have to run. Okay. Just burn everything. Burn the whole village to the ground. Burn everything. No, I'm running. I can't lose this. We weren't able to get the steel stuff back, but it's more about the message. That we are not giving up on them. Hello again. Last time in Terra Firma Greg, I spent almost a month processing and alloying many different metals to make black steel, red steel, and blue steel, used in making my first LV machine casings, which got me a mixer, a wire mill, a small rubber factory, and a bender. In case you were wondering what I was going to do with all my red steel, I turned it all into perfectly forged weapons and armor, which I used with gunpowder to launch a brutal campaign of revenge against the Arnians, as you just saw. With that out of the way, let's continue with regular progression. Before all of this, I was trying to get 3 machines, the extractor, the centrifuge, and the assembler. For now we will just talk about the assembler, which allows me to completely ignore the colored steel cost of LV casing, and with other infrastructure, having the cost of circuits with some brand new recipes. But the assembler itself needs circuits, which needs a lot of copper. So I went back to our new tetrahedrite mine and did what I do best. No. The most risky way to mine. Okay, here's the plan. So far there haven't been too many rocks landing on where I am. I have a backup copper mine. I'm just gonna break this until I die. Well, now it's mining it for me. Oh no! My mine! My poor mine. So this part of the mine is completely unrecognizable, and I will have to spend a long time digging through it. But I have reached the bottom. Oh, or more accurately, the cave-ins have. I only did like 20% of the mining here, and it doesn't seem like it can cave in above that. I might have just made it safer, but in the process I have deleted half the ores and turned them into cobblestone. Oh, I get to mine it a second time, how nice. A lot of these cave-ins were actually purposeful, since I wanted to completely remove this entire wall to essentially turn it into a quarry. A minor side effect of this was that I had completely deleted almost half of the copper in this massive vein, and probably caused the collapse of some TFC version of OSHA. But with this copper, I made all of my red steel equipment, attacked the Arnians, came back, and started crafting up all the circuits needed for the 3 machines. And off into the Gold River, so that's the entire crossing. From the Arnian Empire to the Gold River in not even one night. Also, I learned that all of this pork is in superposition, and it's like rotten and not rotten at the same time. But when I try to eat it, it is rotten. Then this mutton is the same, so that means that all my food is just gone. So I'm probably gonna kill everything I find along the way. For example, this pheasant here does not know what's coming for it because I have a red steel sword. Okay, so we're back, and we've collected all of this food along the way, and then also harvest all of that. And then we'll be on with regular progression. This field getting harvested is also something I just don't know how to deal with, because there is far too much wheat, far too much rye. I already have half of the stuff from last year. There is no point in having this. I guess I can make sandwiches out of flatbread without feeling bad. Okay, so I have all that food in order, so let's get back to progression with the resistors I made before that attack. So we have 16 resistors, 16 vacuum tubes. I'm gonna use these vacuum tubes and stuff to make 8 circuits, because I don't know if this was explained in the voiceover, but I'm gonna make an assembler. And the other thing I want is the extractor. Now we already have an extractor, and I actually automated it over here. This thing has a 0 millibucket fluid output, well, this extractor has a 8,000 millibucket, so 8 buckets of fluid output, so I can melt anything. And that means I can melt tin and then put it in my fluid solidifier for tin rotors. I need steel plates. So do I have enough steel for that? There's 5 steel ingots there, 4 pig iron there, which I will process because there's no use for pig iron other than that. And nothing else. Oh right, all my iron's over here. Oh no. I completely forgot about this tragedy. Can I light them here? Shit. You know what? That's a great thing to do first thing. Oh, here, finally. Not just any bit of lava. Oh, it's so bright. Anyways, our side quest is over, and we have a bunch of lava now. Grab all these, turn them into iron ingots. Bulk blasting is amazing. I think I could do a massive steel smelt. Like, I want to stop doing steel smelts. These are so annoying. How much charcoal do I have? So I have 54 charcoal here. And if I break it into groups of 12, then I can do 48. That's not even a shockingly large smelt. I think I can stack a coke oven right on top of this one. And it will be made significantly cheaper because of multi-block sharing. I'll show you what I mean when I'm done, because I already have all the resources I need. Okay, get the coke oven block itself, and then the 17 bricks that go alongside it. Now we have 2 coke ovens going at once, and I could probably get a hopper or a chute automatically supplying 1 or 2 of these. Either way, I'll have to do that for power generation, unless what I'm hearing about the hose pulley is true. And now I think I'm producing enough charcoal that I'm just gonna run this smelt. And hopefully get through maybe 6 batches of steel. Which, yeah, that is a lot, and I don't care, because I don't want to do a steel smelt ever again. And with cheaper red steel and everything, the fluid solidifier for small gears, things are gonna get a lot cheaper. I'm actually not having a positive feedback loop of charcoal production. Very slowly running out, but I have plenty of charcoal to still last me as long as the smelt needs to. And it fell down again. I need to just hold temperature, but I am working on other things at the same time. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. I guess the extractor allows me to use it in the assembling machine, which we are making, but glad I caught that. I left the circuit on 3. Yeah, I already have all these rubber sheets ready, so I can make all the red alloy wires. And so I also have all the steel I need. We're just going to continue this until I completely run out of iron and flux. But right now I can make circuits. So there's all of our resources lined up, and I just need this copper wire and then some resin circuit boards. So here's 8 resin-coated circuit boards, and now 8 resin-printed circuit boards. Okay, so the smelt is over, and it's gonna cast out this remaining pig iron. Hopefully it has enough fuel to do that. At this rate it looks like it does, but I'm gonna put in 1 more charcoal just in case. So there's almost 64 steel there, then there's more being made here, there's more in my inventory, there's the 16 plates here. Speaking of those 16 plates, let's start this. Yeah, 1 at a time is definitely worse. I'm gonna put all 7 on here. Oh, wonderful. All was great to see. And then I can drop all these on. Okay, 8 LV circuits. Things are getting much easier. So I'm gonna go find my other 2, and that will be 10 LV circuits all in a pile. Okay, this is a true sign that we are far into... Well, not far, but we are midway through LV. So yeah, extractor's gonna be first, then assembler, then centrifuge. I guess I'll get both the hulls at the same time. Oh, now I have 5x and 6x? What does 6x look like? Okay, I'm only using that for item images, thanks. I'm gonna leave this at 4x, because people will like that. No, what am I doing? I need to stop it. Why am I melting these together? This isn't early game. Okay, crush this back down. I need to go to the mixer, not the crucible. Okay, what else? I want to make more sticky resin for fun. I mean, we're in summer. I gotta use every little bit that I have access to. Oh, and then I also have to plan my new factory building. You know what? I could make my building out of sandy loam, or maybe some different loam. But yeah, basalt and normal loam, because my first building I built just out of stone, which is okay, but kind of boring. Now I have a mixer, and the mixer makes these kinds of bricks much easier, so I just might make it out of that. There's all the red steel we need, and then there's 8 blue steel here. And I'll let that all cast out. So, likely the last time I'll be touching this. Don't really need red or blue steel once I have the assembler. So these 4 and 5 will be used for tools, and only tools. 2 LV machine casings, and I'm gonna put a bunch of tin in the wire mill for all of the wires we need. There, 32 tin cables. Way overkill. And there. 2 LV machine hulls. I need a piston and a pump, which means I need motors, but I'm gonna get all the motors I need. Yeah, the extractor needs 2, so that's 14 motors in total. I'll make 16, because that's a nice even number. If you're playing modded Minecraft, try to get an exponent of 2. It's always better. Yeah, for 16 magnetic rods, I need 64 redstone. I don't have 64 redstone. I'll have to go mining for that. And then I can fill up the rest of my inventory. But I think I'm now safe, because if I go like this, I cannot pick that cinnabar up, so I'm just safe to mine. But yeah, this means I can go through a vein of toxic minerals without picking up the toxic minerals. Is that another redstone vein? That's too far to be the same vein. Yeah, it is. 2 in 1 cave. That just goes to show how much I did not need to hype up the redstone search. It is not hard to find. Okay, so we have all of this redstone, and a little bit of ruby, with really no difficulty using that method. So I'll be using that for any toxic veins. I'll need to smelt this, but not difficult when you have bulk blasting. 10 redstone dust per rich. So this is 360 redstone, much more than I need. There, 16 magnetic iron rods. I'm gonna put the rest of these in here. Yeah, you can tell that resource stockpiles are kind of getting insane at this point. Just all of this sand and all the redstone, pig iron, tin, redstone, my clay, my iron, my charcoal. This is what you're supposed to do. New factory players, like I was in the E2E series, will hold back when trying to build up in early game. Do not hold back, ever. Because here I can just make 16 motors with minimal effort. I mean, yeah, getting redstone was pretty annoying, but then I won't have to do that ever again, so... There we go, 16 motors, 10 circuits, 2 hulls. That will supply me for a very long time. And now I'm gonna make 3 pistons. So there's 3 gears, 6 rods, and then I need 9 plates. Also, the crafting animations for the pistons last episode were probably the most difficult crafting animations I've made, other than Fusion crafting animation and Infinity Catalyst in the E2E movie. But after making that crafting animation for so long, I'm pretty sure I've memorized the recipe. Okay, there. No. Oh, that's annoying. The amount of tools it needs does not help with the fact that it's my least favorite recipe. Look at my max health! That's insane! I'm going straight back to the Arnians with 1200 health. And then I can use the pipe to make a pump. That's all the major components in the extractor, and I might already be done. There we go. Okay, so now I can use the extractor to melt any ingot I want and cast it into this fluid solidifier. And that includes melting steel to make gears. And then also rotors save a ton. Rotors are probably the biggest change, because now tin rotors, instead of needing this stupid recipe, I can just cast it with 4 ingots. So I'm gonna make the 2 conveyors I need. There. So I'm gonna get a robot arm. I'm just missing steel rods. So yeah, this is why batch crafting is important, because I just made both of those machines in a row, with only minor materials like glass and steel rods missing along the way. There, basic assembler. So this is the second most expensive LV machine, and the fact that I made it means we're very far into LV already. Okay, so I can configure this to 8, and then put all 8 plates in there, and oh, that's fast. It makes me an LV machine casing. And no, it does not need red or blue steel, so those are just out of the picture now. Oh, there's already blooms here. I do not need to do anything. When did I make these? Wait, was that the end of last episode? Because I did put a bunch of blooms in, but never took them out. Okay, and even faster this time, here's another machine hull. So machine hulls are now the cheapest part, instead of the most expensive. And because I already got all of the circuits, the main cost of this recipe, I can just make the centrifuge. That was nothing. Now we just have a centrifuge. And I'm gonna have this centrifuging resin 24/7. Why I'm centrifuging sticky resin is because it makes glue. And this glue I can use to make resistors. And this isn't really cheaper, this recipe, but it doesn't need paper. But the more important thing it can do is make the resin circuit boards cheaper. This goes from 4 ingots of copper to just 1, and from 2 resin to 1 as well. So now I have all the important LV machines allowing me to make circuits and LV hulls for basically no cost. The only limiting factor now is that I don't have enough power to supply these machines. With only 1 turbine, 1 boiler, and basic 2x tin wire, I could only put enough power to run 1 or 2 machines, and the turbine would quickly run out of steam. To fix this, I devised a 3-step plan to make this machine line much better. First, I would upgrade my steam production either with lava or creosote liquid boilers, and try to automate that so that I don't have to refuel. Then I would make another turbine, upgrade all my wires, and put input and output chests under each machine for larger recipes, and finally, I would get 4 lithium batteries in a battery buffer to essentially give me a consistent 4 amps of LV power for all my machines. That is getting glitchier and glitchier by the day. What is it even doing? Is that the crushing wheel? It is! I'm pretty sure that's the crushing wheel texture. Wow, it's really glitching out. So I'm pretty sure what this has to do is each animation step, it just moves the conveyor belt texture one to the right and then resets. This one is for some reason moving the texture the wrong way, which means it's pulling the crushing wheel texture into there. Which is really weird. At least that's my theory. So, what was I gonna work on next? Yeah, I was gonna get a canner, so that I can work on power infrastructure. I feel like a bigger problem with power right now is that I don't have enough steam. Oh, that's amazing. Wait, how long does creosote last? Creosote burns like 2.5 times more. So lava is really good, apparently. So, I'm gonna go into a test world. Okay, so it seems to be just really efficient at emptying bodies of different fluids. But the problem with that is I want to get infinite lava for power gen. Wait. Yeah, it didn't remove a single block. That is insane. I want to see, does it only need 1? Yes, it only needs 1. What? So, all of these boilers are running off of lava, and it's getting far more lava than I would ever need. 1 lava source can support 64 of these boilers. That's not right. That's not right. They shouldn't have done that. Well, I'm gonna go back to the main world. Oh, it's getting worse. Now what texture is that? There. Oh, it's bricks. It's just bricks. So that is clearly what we're gonna go for, because my excuse is I can basically justify any sketchy stuff I do in this playthrough simply because I will have to do it the hard way in GTNH. This is my second last modded series, and it's gonna be my last enjoyable series, so I will have the hose pulley, thank you. I just realized now that there's no point in doing that since I don't actually have any of the equipment built yet. I'm also going to work on the hose pulley itself, which will need 4 copper plates and a single rubber sheet. I'm going to fill in the whole area, why not, with some silver deposits, because it's gravel but cooler. So, for 3 boilers, I'll need 3 steam machine hulls, which will need a ton of bricks. While I'm waiting for these things to go, I'm going to quickly get all these quests back in order, because it is very confused. For example, the Steam Age quests, it thinks I don't have glass dust, simply because I don't have a ceramic blowpipe, because it thinks I need specifically ceramic, so I'm just gonna work through those. But then there's more stupid ones. The deployer thinks I need an electron tube, and I've made an electron tube before, but I've never held one. And because I don't have the deployer, it doesn't think I can get circuits. So there's a bunch of dumb things like that, and the deployer specifically I kinda have to go into creative mode to do. So I'm gonna do this on camera, so that I can be dead honest. Okay, I'm gonna get out of creative mode, and unfortunately I cannot turn off cheats. So that will stay here for the rest of the session, but I have now cleaned up all of my quests. LV quests are up to date, ULV quests are up to date. I'm too lazy to deal with create quests, so it doesn't know I have these. But that's really all I cared about. Now I can actually see my LV progression. Okay, so now I can use all of my hunger to lower this thing down to the bottom. I don't know if the hose pulley has a limit. Doesn't seem to. There, now we're definitely able to pull water from here. So we have our pump there, so this should get us water. Okay, that's a lot of water. That is definitely more than we need. I will remove the hand crank so that I don't accidentally pull it back up. Okay, so I'll have lava all the way down there. Dying down there would be horrendous, but that's why we're gonna put a hose pulley above here. So this should be able to make lava now. So I have the lava hose pulley here, and I have the water hose pulley here. I just need a pump there, and our 3 boilers here. There, 3 steel brick casings, and I need that glass. 3 high-pressure liquid boilers. Last episode I was so happy that I made 1. Okay, so these are now all filling with water, actually quite quickly. There it goes. Oh, it's going very fast. Works like a machine, too. I won't have to ever refuel this, unlike the old boiler over there. And it's not even taking a toll on our stress units. So this is just infinite steam, and this turbine can run as long as it wants. Now that is an amazing system. That's screenshot worthy. And the noise here. This is way more than enough to keep this turbine running constantly. So right now I could probably consistently run 2 machines at a time. If I can power lamps with lava, lamps are going to be our only light source for the rest of the game. If it doesn't though, this much lava, I could just have like little glass windows with lava behind it, and that's infinite light. Oh. Oh no, don't do that. Water. Okay, I don't know what to do with the spare lava bucket. I guess I can just start with my idea already. And that's another infinite light source. I don't know how many of these I'll have in my base. I do have to keep them away from flammable areas, but this is very nice. So now we need to get circuits for the canner. So I need 2 circuits for the canner, and then I also want to get a refrigerator. And the refrigerator also needs 2 circuits. I want to try to get the arc furnace soon. That's another 2 circuits, because the arc furnace is just nice to have. So that's 6 circuits, but I think I'll make more than that. Okay, so this is all my resistors ready right here. So I can go and work on vacuum tubes, which are also cheaper. I don't think I fully realized how good the assembler is now. Okay, so the best recipe we can do is this one, using a little bit of red alloy. Actually, conveniently, I have this fine red alloy wire that I accidentally made, and that is exactly enough to make 3 resistors, each one. And I guess now I'm making 10 circuits, so I want 20 vacuum tubes, so I'll make 21. No, I have some spares, don't I? Everything is becoming unbelievably easy. In fact, I already have the steel bolts. Vacuum tubes are now the cheapest thing in the whole recipe. The only difficult part of the vacuum tube recipe is the glass tubes, which have already been made about as easy as they can get, and once I get a better alloy smelter, this will be faster. This extractor can auto-output to the right side. Now we have red alloy in there, and I can just get the copper wire, bolts, and glass tubes. This thing's using 2 wire, 2 tubes, and 2 bolts to make 1. Now I'm using 1 bolt to make 3. That's 6 times better on the glass tubes and bolts. 20 red alloy cables, and I can put the steel in here, and that will get us our circuit. So since I've used all of our steel on that last bit, I am running this steel smelt of 72 iron, which is going to take a very long time, but hopefully it's the last steel smelt for a while. I'm going to get this all going. This is the first time in a circuit recipe that I didn't have enough stack size to fit all the steel into it. Also, this is getting glitchier by the day. Not as bad as it was earlier today, but actually, I just had an idea. Give me a second. I don't know if this works, because it's now blocking the deployer, but hopefully it does. If it does, here's some real automation. Place those down there. And yep, it goes straight into the funnel, which means it goes into this chest, which means I can drop it back in. But this goes further. I can grab all the circuits from here, and just dump them into this chest. And I don't have to worry about anything. Easiest circuits ever. 10 circuits, not even difficult. So I just need to do this steel smelt, and then we can get back to all the machines I promised. Canner needs a pump. Now I'm reminded that I want 3 pumps. So we're gonna make 3 pumps. Why not 4? Let's make 4 pumps. I love rounding up to the nearest exponent of 2. Tin has a low melting point, so theoretically the extractor speed should be pretty fast. 5 seconds! Really? Okay, so 16 tin ingots, and I don't have a rotor mold, do I? I'll have to make one. Oh yeah, the lamp went out here, and most of the torches are gone, but guess what? We have our nice floor lighting and heating. And then with the rotor mold, I can use this extractor to extract 16 ingots of tin, turn it all into rotors. Easiest motors of my life. They really don't get easier from here. 4 electric pumps. I only actually need 1, and another 2 could be used for a refrigerator, and then the last one is because I never want to make them again. I will probably need to make them again. There we go, 2 LV machine casings. I might actually make the arc furnace first. So yes, we're gonna make the arc furnace, and it can turn iron ingots into wrought iron ingots. Just like that. There's the machine hull I needed. Okay, here, basic arc furnace. This is gonna make 8 buckets of oxygen. Damn. If I had an electrolyzer, we'd have a whole lot more oxygen. So, I can take a bit of oxygen from the centrifuge and put it into the arc furnace. And with this arc furnace, I can grab some iron, and it will just turn it into wrought iron. Quite quickly. No processing required in between, so the bloomery is now obsolete. It does use quite a bit of oxygen in the process, but I'm fine with that when it's that cheap wrought iron. Additionally, I can put sand in there, and 1 sand will very quickly make 2 whole glass blocks. Meaning not only did I make it half as expensive as vanilla, I also made it much faster. Okay, back to the canning machine. That was a little bit of a sidetrack. LV machine hull and basic canner, another machine. And it gives us a quest for it, because this one is actually expected for you to get. So I don't actually have the thing we're gonna can, but why I got this is for batteries. I just need a small battery hull, which is gonna be a nightmare to put together. We need battery alloy. And then I just need to use the canner to fill it with some toxic element. And then I can put power into it. Question is, how do I get that element? Oh, there's lithium ore, but it doesn't say where it is. It says it's just scheelite. So, it's time to look in the files. Okay, so lithium has its own vein. It spawns with tungsten, and it spawns very deep under the ground in granite. So we're gonna go right back down to that cassiterite mine, and we're gonna go find lithium. That'll get us all the torches we need, so I'm gonna light up a very large portion of this. We're at exactly Y0. Whoa, that is so cool. But I don't like standing on the edge like that. This is such a deep cave. Blue topaz, opal, so that's all probably part of this vein. It's just all gems. Caving in Terra Firmacraft is a whole different game. This is terrifying. But the entire cave is funneling down here, so I did see another way into another granite cave. Oh, I'm gonna die here. I don't have my travel bed. I've actually lost 2 beds in this playthrough. Gold. Tungstate! Wait! If I am correct, tungstate is in scheelite veins. Yes. Okay, now, how do I get there? It actually should be right through this wall. Yep. No. That has to just be lava light. If that's torchlight, okay, good. It's just lava light. On another note, we found our lithium. But lithium is not really a common thing in this vein. Also, this vein seems really thin since it's cut off by schist. Okay, when you prospect your vein and it's not showing the vein you're in, it's bad. I definitely have enough for the batteries I need. I would just like it if I had more. Another massive drop. The caves are so dynamic in TFC. Like, you'll never find this much shape to a Minecraft cave, even after 1.18. So, it was a long journey here. I probably cut most of it out, but on this side of the cave, I entered through the water. Was it this side? No, it was the other side. Okay, all the way on this side, I had to go through this cave. Then over here, I have another air pocket. And then through this hole that I had to dig, there's another air pocket. And then finally, the entrance of the water cave here. And now I have to go up. This cave was never explored. I guess I'll never know how large it was. I lower the top Y. Whoa! We will have to come back to this one. I guess we have roughly the size of it. Okay, then we slowly climb through here. And now we have the higher part of the cave where we explored and found redstone back in, I think, episode 4. Now all the way back to this ladder. And we're back in the normal caves. That is so deep down. I'll need another entrance if I find a good vein down there. Okay, so I'm going to turn all of this lithium into dust. And then we have our canner. So I just need to get the battery buffer. There's our machine case. And then there's our machine hull. And then chest there, hull there, cables there. There's our 4x battery buffer. Now I also need to make the batteries. So, the batteries are going to be very annoying to make, since a sodium battery needs an empty battery hull, which needs battery alloy plate, and that needs a lot of lead. I'll need 8 lead in total for this. Okay, so I had a little bit of lead. Yeah, here. That's half the amount I need, but I think that's all the lead I have. So there was a glitch when I got this lead, and that's why I was able to actually hold it. And that glitch might not still be a thing. No, it's still there. So the plan is just to shove them into the backpack immediately. Okay, we're safe. We didn't even take damage. Then I also need antimony, which is very easy since we've already mined all of this stibnite. But yeah, that lead is definitely a problem. I think there is more lead where we found that other stuff. So I'm gonna go mining over there. Yeah, there's still galena here. The stuff will likely kill me. I really should have brought a bed. Poor galena. I'm pretty sure that's safe, but I'm gonna stash it quickly anyways. Okay. Yeah, it does give me poison, but I'm fine. And I could probably do another one. Okay, here's actual just straight lead. Yeah, that's normal raw lead, which can kill. And honestly, it's probably safest if I just go and quickly do this while I'm still dying. Oh right, this is rich lead, so we're fine. Okay, that's all the lead I need. This is our first encounter with toxic minerals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So even if all the galena dies, we have enough lead. Wait, lead ingots are safe. Nice. So battery alloy is likely not going to be as lucky. So I'm going to shove this in the backpack as fast as possible. It has been a process to get batteries, but we're finally here. I'm going to leave that in the alloy smelter. So, here's the problem. I don't want to move any of my machines, but I need the battery buffer there if that's going to happen, which means I need turbines pointing into it, which I think I can do. Also, I am in grave danger of overpowering the wires. Right now, in fact, I'm only going to put 2 batteries in here since I have 2x wire. Why did they ruin the wrench? This is just a tragedy what they did to the wrench. Now I have to place it like a stupid create machine. Actually, no, create place is better than this. Even mechanism place is better than this. What happened to you, Greg Tech? Hold on, I just did a big stupid. I don't actually have any batteries, and I need power to make batteries. Battery alloy is safe. Nice! I don't know how many are safe. And I'll be terrified with each one until I get the hazmat suit. Uh-oh, there's not nearly enough power for that. Yeah, like, what did they do? It doesn't even rotate anything. Modern Greg Tech. I'm moving to GTNH, man. There. Give me my plates, man. Okay, so battery alloy plates could very likely be the end of me. So I'm quickly gonna get my tin cables ready so that I quickly craft this. No, they're safe. Our first battery. Not really, this is just a battery hull. I'm gonna turn it into a battery now. 2 lithium dust. And a lithium ion battery. And now this charges the battery buffer. So right now it can already hold 120,000 EU volts. And then I'm soon gonna get another turbine right there, and I can use this pipe to power it. Okay, that's fully 4x. So I'm gonna take 2 more of these batteries, which are effectively my last batteries, because the only extra battery will probably be used for an ore prospector. And power infrastructure is done, with a total of 480,000 EU of power storage, basically the best you're gonna get in LV. And I have a free slot right here, but the grind never ends. Now time to get a turbine. Take this rotor, and that's already... No, it's not. I didn't take the materials. That's already another turbine. Spent all of last episode making one, and I just decided to do another one today. So there's 2 amps of LV power, 64 watts, and then 4 amps come out of the battery buffer. So effectively, I've quadrupled my power production, even though I've only technically doubled it. And then also I got the 4x cables to actually handle that, so I can continue expanding. And expand I will. I need to build a new factory building out here. So I need to figure out new things. What's the floor gonna be made of? What's the walls gonna be made of? And I think I already have an idea. And now I've already started ripping out the back of my factory building. Just the floor is this difficult. That's all of the floor lighting done. I just learned that my original factory building was never actually completed. On that side I have slabs, so that the roof's actually thick there, but over here I don't. I actually don't know which side I like more. Oh no, don't do that. I do actually have a backup that I literally just made, so I'm just gonna load that. Okay, and when I say I literally just made it, I mean like the only thing that's been reverted is the blocks I just placed over here. And I wish slab placement wasn't so weird. Because right here I can place it like this, 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 or this, depending on where I click on the block. And so that means if I just want to place a normal slab, I have to actually, like, make sure I'm clicking on the right block. I think they should just make it so that you can click here and then it gives you a vertical slab. See, that was 3 in a row that were wrong. Yeah, I think I definitely overdid it on resource collection, because I have so many bricks left over and I could probably get twice as many if I wanted to, but I'm already done the walls. Okay, the roof is now done. I'm going to remove this ladder, add the final block, and this is our factory building. And more importantly, is it actually... connected textures! Create for the win. Oh, that's so nice. Yes, we're doing the whole building with framed trapdoors. You can't stop me. Perfect. So that is all of our windows done, meaning this is our first actually enclosed building. Okay, there. I have merged the new factory building into the old, and we have this massive space that I now have to clean up because a little bit of snow and like leaves and sticks fell in here before I installed the roof. There, that's clean now. Now it's about time I explain electricity. A lot of you guys probably play Mechanism or Thermal Foundation and likely expect a similar energy system. But GregTech is way too autistic for that and has a simplified version of real-life electricity. The main two things you have to worry about are volts and amps. Volts are basically the tier of power you're using. 32 volts is LV, 128 volts is MV, 512 for HV, and so on. My system is in low voltage, with the batteries outputting 32 volts, but I'm able to use up to 120 EU. So how does that work? Well, the other part of electricity is amps, which you can imagine as packets of voltage flowing through the wires to your machines. With my 4 batteries, I have 4 amps of power, allowing me to run 4 LV machines at a time, so my system is 32 volts and 4 amps, making a total of 128 EU, which is the amount of power needed to make aluminum for MV machines. So why did I build this massive factory building if I could just put my blast furnace here and finish the episode? Well, first that would use absolutely all of my power, preventing me from using any other machines. But also, wires have resistance, which takes 1 volt out of each amp for every block it travels, which would give my blast furnace only 96 EU at this distance. So with this new space, I was going to make a large bronze boiler powering 4 LV turbines, directly powering an electric blast furnace, allowing me to get my first piece of aluminum, the key to medium voltage. Okay, if I want good food, I should harvest that garlic. And at this point, like, I've been working for the past 2 episodes to try to completely remove garlic from my diet, but at this point I really should just lean into it. I mean, the garlic sandwich I had gave me like 7 points of vegetables and I got to 1200 health. People joke in the comments about my unhealthy garlic diet, but this is so good. And I have such a large field now. So if I want a large bronze boiler, I need 36 plus that, 108 bronze. We finally got our number. Probably could have done the math better, but whatever. Oh, but now I run into a new problem. How do I input all of this copper and tin? I could use a chute, but then the output is also in 16, so do I do that as well? I might make an LV alloy smelter. And that's our LV alloy smelter. So it's not a difficult machine, especially since we have all the infrastructure. So this alloy smelter will keep running until it has all of the bronze we will need. It's already at 56 out of 108. That'll definitely be enough. I think that'll make 128, which is overkill. Overkill's always good. Well, unless you're dealing with basalt bricks. Screw it. We're gonna put an arbitrary number in, that much, because I have plenty of bronze, and any spare can go to things like bronze drums, which are probably one of the most useful things I have. In fact, all these numbers are completely eyeballed. If I'm wrong, then I can just throw more stuff in, but I don't want to waste time crafting, and any excess I can just use for other projects. There. 4 bronze pipes together to make 2 pipe casings. So that's the pipe casings done. I bet I can add a cool graphic. And then firebox casing, we need 6. I was gonna make, I think, 8 circuits. Unless the steel was a bit too dumb. But I do need all 4 deployers there. I'll just make a new deployer. I'm gonna automate the blast furnace. Now I'm realizing I do actually need more hematite. Yeah, I think this is the most I'm gonna get out of this vein. Oh, that's really good. Finally, a successful mine. The good ending right here. I'm gonna organize things back into this chest. I have to have another row for hematite because there's just that much of it, which is quite realistic. Actually, just today I was doing a bunch of research on the Great Oxidation event. There was a lot of iron. The oceans were just raining iron for 1 billion years straight. There, electron tube, and I think it's like this to make the deployer itself. Surprisingly easy. I thought I'd spend a lot longer on that. But I can put a gearbox there, and then have a deployer there, and that will automatically do the bellows, and even though it's very slow, it's definitely fast enough. And now we're gonna light the blast furnace, and hopefully this automatic bellow system will keep it at white hot constantly so that it's automatically outputting all the molten steel and putting it in there. I can't automatically input it, and that's why we have this note block system. Well, hopefully that's what we're testing here. It's going to notify me whenever an ingot appears in here, because that means molten material has come out of the blast furnace and I need to put a new load in. That also means I can't automate fuel input, but I'd piled a bunch on the top, so that should be good enough. It is casting out now, actually. That was fully automatic. It didn't say anything when that happened, okay. Okay, so if none of that observer stuff works, that means it won't automatically notify me, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'm okay with that. I'll just refill it now. And that should be all of our vacuum tubes. And all the resistors alongside it. Currently, the most expensive part of the recipe is a part of the recipe that shouldn't be there. Also, very sadly, I have used up all of the copper I had from the tetrahedrite mine. So I have to go back. It has been probably about a month or more since I recorded that, but I still remember all too well the amount of cave-ins. Okay, that is the last thing I need. Because the red alloy wire is done, and this can be turned into cables. So we have cables, plates, vacuum tubes, and resistors, all with basically zero expense. Hold on, I gotta put in the next steel smelt. There's no flux left. I think I've actually run out of chalk. You could say this blast furnace is chock full of flux. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I got all the resin printed circuit boards, so finally another batch of circuits are gonna be made. Yes, I remember the recipe. That's such a satisfying system. Well, it was gonna end eventually, and I got most of the steel I wanted out of that. I'm pretty sure that's a stack of steel. Technically 4 stacks, but when I say a stack, I just mean a vanilla stack. Here we go. Firebox casing, circuits, and cables. The large bronze boiler. I'm gonna get the 23 steam machine casing. You make 2 at a time, so I have to make 24. I'm gonna have to make all of these, but most of those can be ULV. I think even the muffler hatch can be ULV. Nope, that one has to be LV, and the maintenance hatch does have to be LV as well. So that means I need 18 steel and 33 wrought iron, which means I need a ton of oxygen to anneal the iron. Does annealing actually work to turn cast iron into wrought iron? I don't think it does. There's the LV machine hull. I need to make a maintenance hatch, which needs every tool. So that means a crowbar, mainly. Steel crowbar. Oh, I could have used purple dye. It actually shows up. Whatever, this does look pretty cool. Every single tool in Greg Tech. Maybe there are more, like 1 or 2, but I feel like this is every tool. And then I also need the muffler hatch. That's the other LV component. So there's the muffler and maintenance hatch, which I think both go on the bottom. So all of these bronze plates will get used up, and then I also need bricks. And bricks are made in the alloy smelter. I think, yeah, the compressor has brick blocks, cheaper. These are our first ULV machine hulls. You only ever use them for hatches like this, but it is purely wrought iron and wood. Very cheap. But now I have to make 2 hatches. I need 2 input hatches for water and lava, and then 1 output hatch for steam. That's the last steam machine casing. So now I can just cover the whole thing. And I think this works. Yes! Multi-block formed, you can see the texture has changed here to match the firebox casing. And this is a large bronze boiler. Now, the first thing I want to do is get water into that input hatch, because if I don't do that, I will die. That is not a joke or an exaggeration, I will just die. So yeah, we're gonna have a pump there, and then a cogwheel there, powered by a water wheel here. Remove the hand crank. So these are both set up now. And that's our rotational speed controller. Oh, it's not rotational, it's rotation. That was a noise. The targeted body of fluid is considered infinite. Okay, that's filling up pretty quickly, but I definitely think it uses more water than that. Which is why we have this. This thing should allow me to turn it all the way up to there, and it's overstressed. Wonderful. Okay, there. I don't want to run this thing. I feel like it's gonna explode. Oh, I can start it with low throttle. I forgot about the throttle. And so I'm just gonna start it, except I can't start it yet because it has maintenance problems. Yep, there. Oh, that's so cool. With the muffler hatch and all the fireboxes. I'm pretty sure it increases temperature too. Yeah, that's cool that they integrated that. 21 degrees right here. Steam output 160 liters a tick. Okay, yeah, that's nothing, basically. So at this rate, it starts draining it pretty quickly, but I'm assuming once it hits one bucket, it'll fill right back up. Yep. Okay, then this is definitely safe. And this is infinite because they're water wheels. I'm a bit scared, though. If these stop for whatever reason, then the whole system will blow up. For example, if I'm missing the roof, these will freeze. Now, that has never frozen, ever, in the entire history of the playthrough, but that thing also has 2 blocks separating it. So now this steam output is going to be absolutely filled with steam, and I have to turn that into power. For now, it's not going to be connected to this grid, because I have plenty of power for that. Like, these things will last me for the rest of LV. But this will probably be my power source for MV, and definitely my power source for the electric blast furnace, which is what I mainly made this for. And that thing is going to be very annoying to make. I need, first of all, 3 high-pressure steam furnaces, and then it is another multi-block, which needs its own muffler hatch, its own maintenance hatch, and it also needs energy hatches here. So, we're going to get a bunch of Invar and a bunch of cast iron, and then we're going to turn that cast iron into steel. I might not even need all of this steel that I'm about to make because I already have this steel, but I just want to make it as a secondary thing so that I'm not, like, cutting corners. Because there are a lot of input and output hatches, and I don't want to make those ULV like I did on the boiler, because on the boiler, it's bucket amounts, it doesn't matter, I can just add a drum later. But on the EBF, that's item amounts, and that's not as easily fixed. And then I also need those 3 high-pressure steam smelters. I already have one that I made a long time ago. We don't use it anymore because of the bulk blasting setup. 8 tin pipes, 4 wrought iron plates, 4 steel plates, and that is 3 furnaces. Okay, I already have all of the heat-proof casing. So, 1 heat-proof casing, 3 furnaces, 2 tin cables, and 3 circuits makes an electric blast furnace. Then there's also the Copper-nickel coils. The Copper-nickel kinda worries me because I don't think I have enough nickel. I need 128 Copper-nickel ingots to get 128 2x wire, and then turn those into the coils. But getting that much Copper-nickel means, I think, 64 nickel, and I don't have that much. I mean, this is all of my nickel right now. But I did get all of these steel plates, so I'm gonna turn all 48 of them into steel casings. And all 6 of these casings are gonna turn into a maintenance hatch, a muffler hatch, 2 energy hatches, a input bus, and an output bus. That will handle literally every logistical thing to do with the blast furnace. This is probably gonna be one of the craziest things in LV. So we have the item output, and we have the item input, and then I need to make some coils. Oh yeah, I made steel foil a while ago and really regretted it, but luckily enough, I do actually need fine steel wire, which I can make out of this foil. So that saved me 1 ingot. I just realized that we don't have a polarizer. I should probably make a I should remember to fuel the blast furnace. Oh, it's too late. I did it again! There, that'll be the 2 coils. There's the LV hatches. And I can place down most of these. The energy hatches are going there. The maintenance hatch will go here. Output bus goes here. and input bus goes there. I do need the coils, though. Okay. I have to go get more nickel. But as we saw in the tetrahedrite mine, there is just nickel sitting there, so I don't have to go all the way over to the basalt. And then through here, yeah, there's a bunch of redstone, and then this is the tetrahedrite mine, and... oh no. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's so bad. It's all cobblestone here. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, and this is right here. Okay, so I have to deal with this. It's literally right beside the mine. Oh, it's so bad. How high does it go? I'll never know. That's terrible. And I am gonna mine here a little bit, because we are running low on copper, and I need a ton of it. No, no, don't. Okay. Okay, you have to dig really deep to reach the actual ore vein. Interestingly, under all of this rubble... holy shit. Look at how high it goes. This is just basically runoff. Like, this is the sides of the cave. It goes much, much higher through here. Okay, I'm actually digging quite far into this vein, and so far... nothing has gone wrong. I shouldn't have said anything. Something's about to go catastrophically wrong. Okay, well, I've successfully dug a big-ass hole, and I'm going to leave. And the great thing about the bulk blaster is that I can just throw this in there, and then throw that, and then pull out all of this, smelt that, maybe pull out my nickel as well. Smelt all of that. That is a lot of resources. And a lot of cooked rainbow trout. Okay, so we're gonna slowly get enough copper nickel for that. And then there's another part of the recipe, bronze foil. Okay, so that's a lot less. Okay, so now I have 32 bronze, which I can turn into foil in the bender here if I set it to 10. And then it also needs tin alloy. I only need 16 ingots of tin alloy, which means it's literally just this much. Okay, so there's the bronze foil. And oh, that is so much copper nickel. Is that more than enough? No, that is enough. It just seems like a lot more because the stacks are not allowed to be as big. And now the wire mill will very slowly turn all 128 into wires. I don't even think I can fit everything at once. I'm gonna actually build an EBF. I didn't think this playthrough would get this far. Honestly, I thought I'd get burnt out far before this. No! Oh no! Oh, that's really bad. Oh, I did it again. I told myself that I have to put it off of 10. 36 foil is not recoverable. Mentally, I mean. Oh, I can turn it back into steel in the EBF. It takes a long-ass time, though. Okay, all of the copper nickel is done. And I can throw them all in here, and that is just a crazy input. So that's gonna very slowly make our 16 copper nickel coil blocks. Here's our first one, it's gone into the crate. And I think there's an achievement for this. There's not. Thank you, game. Okay, the 16 copper nickel coils are done. I have the muffler hatch and the invar casings. And I can finally build this EBF. Hopefully it actually works. I might have screwed up the building process. There's the muffler hatch, it formed. Okay, that's great. I'm gonna leave a bit of an area for exhaust there. Electric blast furnace. Max recipe tier MV because it has both of these energy hatches. 4 inputs, 4 outputs. Once I get this thing powered with the 4 turbines I'm gonna put here, this is gonna be amazing. I need to process a lot of steel so that we can work on those turbines. So I'm gonna put the 32 plates in there, and that will get us our 4 machine casings. Wires there, plates there, casing, that gets us our 4 hulls, and then I'm gonna turn on the auto output on this thing again, so that I can make some rotors. This is gonna be honestly quite a weird design. We have 2 steel pipes there, and those will supply the first 2 turbines. Then I'll go like this, and these will supply the other 2 turbines. And why am I building it up here? It's because I can move the energy hatches up there to minimize the amount of pipes. I know I'm being quite cheap here, but I don't want to use that much steel. I don't want to run another blast furnace smelt. So this is literally the cheapest machine in the game, and you should get it. As soon as you can, just get the polarizer, because it's really cheap, and it'll magnetize your iron. Okay, right here is all of my motor materials, so put the copper wire there, tin cables, iron rods, 8 motors. 8 rotors, 8 motors, 8 pipes, 4 circuits, 4 hulls. Then I should be good now. Here we go. This is ridiculous. 4 steam turbine generators. I really could have done this with a cheaper system using a battery buffer, but also I do not care. Oh, I really should make a world backup before running this thing. Do I have any aluminum dust to put in there? No, I think I only have other smeltables. I can EBF the ruby dust. Hold on. We have a path. The wires are overkill. The pumps are overkill. The energy hatches can handle the voltage. I didn't connect the wires to each other, so this should be safe. Temperature's going up, it's producing steam. These are now producing power. I'll wait for it to get to full steam output. Nothing's lit on fire yet, so that's a good sign. This is gonna blow up in my face, and it's gonna suck. I'm gonna drink rum. Okay, we have way more steam than we actually need. I'm gonna run it. It has maintenance problems, doesn't it? Here we go. Oh, it's actually running. Nothing blew up. Oh, that looks so cool. They updated the texture. I love cupronickel coils. But yeah, running perfectly. No stops. It has all the power it needs. 3 aluminum nuggets right there. And actually, it is way overkill. Yeah, it can't produce enough power because it's not actually using enough. Weird. Because, yeah, it should be using 128. Oh, actually, no, it's 100 EU for this recipe. Not 128, so we are actually overkill here. And we even got a few ashes. I'm going to form this aluminum into an ingot. And we're officially in MV. The first aluminum ingot. So, again, I'm behind on quests, but we should have got this, which puts us in the MV tab. And unlike Nomi Factory, I can actually get what's called a good electronic circuit, which is the first MV circuit, because the phenolic circuit board just needs glue, which we have a lot of, and diodes need gallium arsenide, which I already have the ability to make with my macerator and centrifuge. So, next episode, I can move into MV. But for now, this is the end of this episode.